Hi guys, my name is Richie Donnell from MySportsStop.com. I'm here today with Brett Burke, and we are here to talk about last year's AL champions, the Cleveland Indians, World Series contenders. They obviously lost in extra innings in Game 7 last year, one of the best World Series that I've ever seen.
Yep.
But when you start talking about this team, I think you got to start with that ridiculously good pitching staff that they've been able to put together over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and they didn't even have everybody at full force last year.
Right.
Is how good this team can be, whether it be the pitching staff or the positional players, which we'll talk about in just a second. But Kluber continues to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Carlos Carrasco is great. Danny Salazar is great. The bullpen with Andrew Miller, even though he gave up 6 runs the other night in the WBC, he's still great. Cody Allen, I mean, everybody on that team can pitch effectively, and they have Brian Shaw's overlooked. I mean, they have so many arms and so much good talent, and Terry Francona uses it well, found a way to get them to the World Series, and they're going to be even better this year than they were last.
So real quick, speaking of hypotheticals, if everybody was healthy last year, could they have topped the Cubs?
No doubt in my mind that they would have won the World Series if Michael Brantley was healthy.
Okay, and speaking of Michael Brantley, moving on to that core inside that lineup that Cleveland has been able to build and develop over the last couple of years. You talked about Michael Brantley, who was hurt, and they still made the World Series. He's going to be back. Francisco Lindor, an elite shortstop. He's on the verge of putting himself he's already under, but putting himself into that class with the Mike Trouts, the Bryce Harpers. He's working on becoming that level of a player. And then you got to talk about Jason Kipnis, arguably the best second baseman in the pros, and Carlos Santana, who can really play first, DH, or catch, depending upon the day.
Yeah, and then there's just so many guys on this team. Lindor is obviously the face of the franchise for the future. A guy we didn't mention in pitchers, Trevor Bauer, also a great arm. But Lindor, Brantley is unbelievable. People overlook how good Brantley is. Brantley is a guy that can hit .315 and hit 25 home runs every single year. And then you throw in Tyler Naquin, a guy that got a lot of playing time after Brantley got hurt, and he'll just continue to grow into that role. Kipnis is a dangerous bat. Santana's obviously a dangerous bat as well. And then they added the best bat of the entire offseason in Edwin Encarnacion, and they replaced Mike Napoli. Napoli hit a lot of home runs for him, but he hit 200.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, so essentially this offseason, you're getting an all-star outfielder in Michael Brantley, who you already have signed, who's just coming back from injury, but then you signed Edwin Encarnacion. So you're essentially getting 2 elite-level players for the price of 1 this offseason. But not only that, but you talked about Taylor Naquin, but they also have a catcher, Mejia, who set the record for hitting streak in the minors last year. So not only is this team already good, but they can replace struggling players because they still have prospects coming.
Yep, and Edwin will add so much to that lineup because he can hit 270, 280 compared to Napoli, who since the sleep apnea surgery he had a couple years ago has struggled to hit consistently. He still hit home runs, but they just have an endless amount of talent, it seems, and they're being led by one of the best managers in all of baseball, and Terry Francona, who is a great clubhouse guy. He keeps the guys invested all season long, and obviously has shown he knows how to get to the World Series, as he's been there 3 times with 2 different teams.
Yeah, and I think Cleveland's going to do their part. They're going to repeat this year. They're going to win the division again and make another run for the World Series. I'm guessing you're going to say the same exact thing, first place inside the division. Yeah,
I think they're easy favorites for the division, and I think they're the favorites to go back to the World Series from the AL. Even though the Red Sox added Chris Sale, I still think Cleveland has too much power on both major aspects of the game, and they're great defensively as well. People don't give enough credit to how good they are defensively, but Naquin's great, Brantley's great. Lindor's a Gold Glove shortstop. Kipnis is a great second baseman. They have so much going for them every way in baseball, and their division kind of weak, so that will help as well. But watch out for the Indians. The Tribe could be breaking that World Series route this year.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Make sure you stop by MySportsStop.com to check out other videos and original content.